As we move more deeply into energy that is intense on every level, and we expand more into the awakened state, different levels of confusion may start coming up. Not coming up to distract you, but coming up so that you're able to clear them. And something that I want to talk with you about today is understanding the will of God. You may have been told that God is demanding everything from you, and that may not feel good. After all, if you've come to this place in your life as an adult, you've spent all of this time learning how to be independent and fully functioning on your own. Why in the world would you want to give that independence over to God? Welcome everyone, it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and I am here with you today to help you understand the will of God. What exactly is God asking from you, and what is God willing to do for you? So our helper today is Moira, and I want to explain a little bit more about Moira too, so you get an understanding of who it is that's guiding us, leading us, and helping us understand more fully the truth. But I also want you to remember, it is so important that when you hear myself or any of the other people who are out teaching on these principles, you will notice that there is a common thread. There is a consistency among all of the information that we're sharing. It will have different vocabulary. My vocabulary will be different from someone else, and theirs will be different from me. We'll have different analogies, different examples, different ways of expressing, but it will have the same common thread because we are all dealing or receiving our information from the same source. So please keep that in mind. If someone is telling you that God is a hateful being, it has been my experience that they are not connected with God. And so you must tap into your heart and decide how that information feels to you. A clear and healed heart will give you a truthful and beneficial interpretation on any information that you're receiving. So do your best to clear and heal your heart so that you can come from your highest place of love, joy, and peace, and not the low place of fear. All right, so let's take a look at our guide today and what makes him really fantastic. Well, the first thing to understand is that God is always wanting us to know that we are safe and loved. And Moira is on the blue ray, and the blue ray is the first ray. It is the ray of protection, of faith, and of the will of God. Now, because it's the first ray, it is considered the basic tenets that must be mastered before you're going to be able to move on into the higher learning. And Moira is a wonderful teacher. So please feel free to call on him if you are feeling that you need help with protection, faith, or mastering the understanding of God's will. He will help people, help everyone recognize their own divine will and to connect with our Christ and God selves. And remember, no one is without a Christ consciousness. No one is without an authentic self. No one is completely disconnected from God. Some of us may be choosing not to express that parts of ourselves, but everyone has within them all of those aspects. So what I find most fascinating about Moira is all of the many ways in which he has served God throughout the years in different physical incarnations. I want you to understand this because none of us are going to get it right or get it completely the first time. And that's why we come back again and again and again and grow and expand in our consciousness through the various experiences that we have agreed to take part in. So Moira has been here as Abraham, learning that obedience brings blessings. And then he came as King Arthur into Camelot, bringing a vision of a golden age, what is possible through cooperation. And then he came both as Thomas Becket and Thomas More. And in this life, he was learning to live a principled life. In both of those lives, he suffered greatly, but he held on to his convictions, and he learned, I am the king's good servant, but God's first. So he was learning to put God first, no matter what kind of obstacle he was up against in order to do that. His final life, oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't the final life. Then he was Akbar in the Mughal Empire, in the Mughal Emperor, and he was learning spiritual brotherhood, bringing the essence of spirituality forward. In the most recent, he was one of the most recent, he was a channel to Madame Blavatsky, and she brought forth the Theosophical Society, where she was beginning to introduce us to all of these ascended masters and angels and guides from the energetic realm who were truly doing the work of God to help us understand that we are more than just the physical body. But his final lifetime was as a Rajput prince, Elmira. And now he sits on the Darjeeling Council, which also includes Saint Germain, Jesus, and Mother Mary. And it's the Darjeeling area in India in which this energy is present. It doesn't matter, however, no matter where you live in the world, you can travel astrally to the Darjeeling Council, or you can just tap into that energetic stream. We are never limited by time and place. We are merely limited by our own belief systems. Now, Elizabeth Clare Prophet was an incredible channel. She founded with her husband Mark Prophet the Summit Lighthouse, and she writes this from Elmira. The will of God is within us. It is our inner blueprint, the design of the soul. To rebel against the will of God is to rebel against the self, the true self. So let's take a look at how all of the ways Elmira can help lead us closer to the will of God. And then he has created for us a writing that will help us understand the will of God. But let us look at how Elmira can be of help. So not only did he help the founder of the Theosophical Society to bring forth spirituality and that understanding, but throughout his incarnations, he is noted for his devotion to God. So he will help you in your own devotion to God, in your own ability to align more fully. His main teachings are the use of will and how powerful it is to align your will with God's will. Now, please understand that God does not have an agenda for your life. He is not punishing you or demanding anything from you. God is a constant presence of unconditional love. That love pours forth ceaselessly. And when you align with that, and when you stop resisting and rebelling against that love, you automatically flow into your life all that is for your highest good. So rather than thinking of aligning with God's will as giving up your independence, I want you to think of it as giving up your mistakes, being able to step out of the place where everything goes wrong and step into the place where most things go right. God's greatest gift is free will. So they don't want to take it from us. They just want to help us navigate with it. God doesn't have a plan or agenda for your life. God just has love for you. Divine will is a powerful stream of love. And when you surrender and align with God's love, it allows you to reunite with your higher self. In other words, nothing is against you and everything is for you. You're just flowing in this beautiful stream of unconditional love that says, here, let me help you. Let me guide you to the place where things are easy, and that all that is required of you is you stop resisting. You stop trying to do it the hard way and you say, okay, God, I'm going to allow you to help me. I'm going to allow you to guide me into my fullness. And if you feel that you are really in a space of resistance, that you are really in this place where you just can't seem to let go, call on Morya and allow him to help guide you. God only desires that we reunite with the essence of who and what we really are, which is unconditional love. When you align with God, success will follow. It may not follow in a day, it may not even follow in a week, but if you stay aligned with God and that presence, that powerful presence is allowed to be active in your life, all good things will be added unto you. Hardships, suffering, that comes as a result of being out of alignment. Now, we are still going to have challenges. We are here to learn. And one of the best ways for us to learn is for us to experience and then overcome challenges. So you don't want to have a life that is so sterile that you're never interacting. But at the same time, you don't want to be in such resistance that all you do is push the boulder up the hill. So let's hear now from Morya and understand more fully the will of God. And he begins. It is time now for the gathering. Those of you who have chosen to be led by the radiance of your heart, rather than the darkness exhibited by those lost in the world, are meant to gather now, not in one place physically, but in the one place you all share, the love you share with yourself and the world. You will notice that there are awakened ones spread throughout the world, united by the gift of the internet and the physical, and the resonance of your heart in the spiritual. No one has been forgotten, none have been left out, and all have been found worthy. Those of you who have chosen to lead the way forward are now being commanded to unite with more single-minded focus with the will of God. Understand that this does not mean that you abandoned common sense, purpose, or your own role in your life. God doesn't want ownership of your life. God is seeking a partnership which will expand, enlighten, and enrich you. Therefore, it is imperative that you willingly choose to align with God. You may not allow others to choose for you. You must remain in understanding of all that you are now allowing yourself to receive. As my brother Jesus said to you, much is expected from those to whom much has been given. Therefore, do not take up this mantle of service lightly. Although the mantle is light, the duty is all-consuming. It is no longer possible for those of you who are committed to the light to go halfway. If you decide to proceed, to go all in. If you decide to proceed, go all in. Give to God the entirety of your alignment. Hold nothing back. Stop trying to be in charge or figure it out. Instead, go all in. Let go of being in charge. Let go of I know better. Let go of the fear that has kept you separate. As you let go of you and align more fully with the will of God, many things will be added on to you. Yes, you will lose the sense of loneliness and separation, but in its place, you will gain a sense of belonging, abundance, love, and an overflowing well of joy. Align with the will of God, and you become all you've desired to be, and so much more. I want you to tuck that into your heart. See how that feels. How delightful is that you are now being invited to be so much more. All that is required from you is that you step out of resistance and you step into divine flow. You begin saying to yourself, not my way, but thy way, with the understanding that God doesn't want less from you. God is not asking you to sell your house and go be a beggar on the street. God is not asking you to give up your knowledge so that God can fill you with new knowledge. God is saying, take all that you are, all of this brilliance that you have amassed through your lifetime, and allow me to expand upon it so that you can be of even greater service to the world, and you can be instrumental in leading the world into an awakened state. It is so important that those of you who are hearing this message agree. Agree to give up being small, being lost, lonely, and confused, and say, yes, I'm ready. God, please lead me into your truth, into alignment with your magnificence, where I can truly find all that I came here to be. All that you're being asked to be is all that you already are. And all that you're being asked to give up is everything that is not serving your highest good. So please, let go of what's not working. Let go of resisting and join me in this high place of love, joy, and peace, where we flow with the will of God. Thanks so much, everyone. It is so wonderful the way that you are all sharing, liking, and commenting, subscribing to this channel, and sharing with others that you love, so that together we are able to bring more people into this understanding that they too are safe and loved. So again, I invite you to join me on my website. It's marciamartinthehearthealer.com or mmhearthealer.com, and Marcia is spelled Marcia. On my website, if you want to dive deep, 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 you will find many resources. There is also a community. It's mmhearthealer.com/community. If you want to be part of a group that is growing and learning together, and that community is filled with tools that the energetic realm has shared with me. Or if you feel that you really want to dive deep, then it's mmhearthealer.com/coaching, and that will give you an opportunity to work with me directly. Whatever it is that you want, whether it's the free resources that are there on that website in abundance, or if you feel that you need guidance, please join me on my website and receive the help and the support that you so desire and deserve. So until next time, I'm sending you all my love and my deepest gratitude. Thanks so much for being here with me today.